Hi everyone, my name is Wawa and I'm back with another view replay match, and this time it is gonna be a PvT matchup. Now we are gonna see Francis here spawning at the top right position as the red Protoss, and he is going up against Pob spawning at the bottom right position as the red Protoss. So I'm assuming that this is a ladder match because it is a red versus blue. So that's usually what you get, and normally people don't usually get the red or the blue color. Normally, if they're gonna go do some custom game playing. So yeah, just that's just my assumption though. As we are gonna do this right here at Delta Quadrant. Now Delta Quadrant is a pretty awesome map. It is a very much a very unique one because there's almost no way impossible or no easy way, excuse me, of expanding your turret or getting your turret, mainly because there's a lot of destructible rocks right here on this map. As you guys can see that they did give you a backdoor expansion though, which is really pretty safe, but there is again a destructible debris over there. But you do have the natural expansion right here at the front. But when you go for you're gonna go for a third, it is almost impossible because there's a destructible degree on this gold expansion right here and also right here. So it's gonna take a long time before you get to that third expansion. As we are gonna see, Francis here is gonna be walling off. So this is not usually what you see, or not you usually see against the Protoss, but lately we've been seeing a lot of this. I'm not sure why. Maybe because that the sometimes the Protoss army or the Protoss ball, the early Protoss push is so strong that sometimes the Terran players doesn't have anything at all to counter it, or maybe sometimes the players or the Terran players usually like hiding their tech behind a big wall because they don't really want anyone to know what their tech is, and they just want to build it up and build up the hype and just make the enemy guessing. As we are just seeing for Pobbs right here, he's just going for a basic opening. Cybernet gateway to cybernetics core, very basic, as we didn't even see a Zealot popping up, but we are seeing one right now even before the cybernetics core is about to pop out, as we are seeing the scouting probe SCV here is gonna do some scouting and just rally him around the base of Pobbs right here. And sorry for a little bit of lag, I'm not sure if that's causing that, as we're gonna see Francis here completely walling off his front door right now, and he's going for a factory, so we might see a 1-1-1 build here from Francis. So we might see some early Banshee harassments, or we might just see some double Hellions harassment. That's pretty much open right now for the Terran player. This is why Terran is considered imbalanced during the early stages of the game, because they have tons of options or tons of units to choose from as they're going for an opening. And right now they've been reduced to those numbers because they don't really do the Reaper opening that much lately, because again you do need a supply depot first before you can make a barracks, and you do need an armory or a factory, excuse me, before you can upgrade the speed upgrade for the Reaper. And we're gonna see Starcraft here, and the Zod is gonna try to do a little bit of harassment. Gonna try to take down the supply depot, but there is 3 SCVs right here. Gonna be repairing that and just gonna be holding that off very completely, as the Stalker is completely out of shield. So good job right here by Pobbs, moving back when the shield is gone and just gonna wait a little bit until the shield is fully recovered, and just gonna poke in a bit more, as we are gonna see a bunker right here being made by Francis. So he's just gonna thicken up his wall just to prevent any more harassment right here from Pobbs, as we're gonna see a Hellion gonna try to do some damage also as well. And the Stalker is about to go down. Oh, 1 life. Wow, 1 life from that Stalker. That Stalker almost went down. Wow, good job right there by Pobbs, keeping that alive. So he could just easily wait for the shield to go back to full health, and it's actually a lot stronger than a Marine when it's full back, or it's back to complete 100% shield. As we are gonna see, the Nexus is being built right here for Pobbs. So early expansion right here for Pobbs, as he does know, I think, that there is no expansion or there is no harassment coming out anytime soon from Francis, as he did make a bunker. So you can just easily assume that there is gonna be a turtling player or a turtling Terran that you're going to be facing up today. But he is completely wrong, as there is a medivac on the way with 3 Hellions. So I'm just going to assume that he's just going to go for that mineral line, as he's doing a ton of damage. Does he have blue flame research? No, he doesn't have blue flame research yet, but it's still pretty scary because 3 Hellions do a ton of damage to those probes. Maybe one blast of the probe line is just gonna completely wipe them off, as the scan is gonna go down right there. So good job, and a rotary research wargate technology is completely done. And here we go, we're gonna see the Hellions gonna do some poking harassment right here. He's gonna take out a ton of damage. Oh, burning some of the probes, but he's gonna be stopped by those force fields. Good force field right there. Poor Pobbes gonna be easily taking out these Hellions, and one Hellion does get away. So good job right there, stopping that harassment from Pobbes. So I don't think that Francis did enough damage to consider that, to say that he did enough to, how do you say that, or how do you say that? I don't think that that harassment that he did was cost effective, as he did lose 2 Hellions and he didn't really roast that much probes in the process. And yeah, this is pretty much maybe a loss for Francis right now. So it's pretty much behind, as it is really turning very hard. Look at how many supply depots right there are in the front, and there's 2 bunkers in the middle. So he's just gonna pretty much stir it up until he can expand. But let me tell you guys something. This expansion right here by Francis is relatively open, very easy to get to, because it's so much closer to the main base of Pobbes, considering that his expansion is right here, or his backdoor expansion is right here, completely opposite of the main base of Francis. So yeah, I'm not sure if Francis is gonna go for that expansion, as we are gonna see us observer right here. I'm gonna be seeing there's the 2 banshees already on the way. I'm gonna do some harassment, and his cloak is not even completed yet, only 3/4 of the way done. And we are gonna see 3 more Hellions gonna go at the back door, gonna try to do some more push. And I think this is a good job right here by Pobbes, by Francis. He's gonna lure out these units right here and just gonna lure them away. And while this, he's gonna drop these 3 Hellions at the back. So this is always a good job. And here we go, that one of those banshees is about to go down. No, good job right there, saving all those banshees. And here we go, we are gonna see the 3 one. He's gonna do a lot more damage than he can. And he's gonna try to burn away from the top. Oh my god, look at that, almost not a good spot for the probes to be standing. It's go around and around. Just go, oh my god, oh, tons of damage, tons of kills, 11 kills from that single Hellion alone. Wow, let's look at the resource tabs. 1 second. So it is still pretty much an even matchup if you're looking at the research tab, but we look at the income tab, we are only seeing 23 harvesters right now. For Pobbes is very behind in terms of probe count or harvester count, as Francis right now has 34 harvesters. So he's pretty much in the lead, but he doesn't have a second expansion, a natural expansion though. So he's not really that much in the lead, but we're gonna see a poking damage right here for Pobbes. We're gonna try to take out some supply depot, just gonna easily soften up the front wall of Francis, as those branches are just gonna poke again to those Starcraft. And I don't think this is the right idea. One of the branches is about to go down, and one of the branches is also on the red. So good scan right there by Francis, gonna taking out that absorber. So good job right there, gonna stop the harassment of Pobbes. So yeah, one of those supply depots is almost gonna burn down, and nope, dropping that down is not gonna save it, but there's 3 SCVs already repairing that. So yeah, good job right there. So right now, harvester count, wow, Pobbes is catching up very quickly to the harvester count, 31 to 35. So let's look at the production tab right now. We are gonna see level 1 research right now for, or at least the armor for Pobbes. So this is gonna make his job and his Starcraft a little bit tougher against those siege tanks. And also those banshees. Banshees are so good against all units. It's actually wise to give, like, put some 4 banshees along with your marine and marauder ball, because those banshees, if not focus fired on, can do a ton of damage. Maybe as much damage as the Ruler can do, but Rulers are way stronger to the banshees. As we are gonna see the expansion finally secured by Francis. These floor trucks are gonna see it, and it's gonna try to take out a lot of the marines. Oh, banshees are gonna be coming in, and Cloak is on the way. Wow, he doesn't have an observer at all. The observer did get taken out, and these 5 banshees are gonna try to do their best to do some damage. Wow, good job right here. To the harassment by Francis, but you better be careful. The biggest one more observer is on the way, and it's about to be built, and more cannons are already being built already, and 4 killed already right now. And while is about to go down, so these 5 this expansion is doing a lot of damage to the army of Pobbes. You better poking out the mine. You better move out because there is a server already on the field. So I think he knows that. Maybe he does know that. Hopefully he knows that. And yep, he does know that. And sorry if I'm repeating my words again, but yeah, good job right there by Francis. So Francis is turning the tide. So he's actually in the lead right now. I don't know how he can lose his lead right now, as he does have a second expansion already. But then again, as a Protoss players always come back very quickly, as we do see a Warp Prism right here, and he does have 4 zealots in him, so he might see some counter harassments right here. Maybe gonna try to take out a couple of those SCVs in the base of Francis, as we are gonna see a lot of cannons, being built right here by Pobbes. So I think he's pretty much terrified of another Banshee harassment, as there is a lot of Banshees on the field right now. 7 Banshees on the field. And is he making more? No, he's not making more. He's just transitioning to some Siege Tank right now, which is always good. Siege Tanks are always good against land units. As we are going to see this dropship right here by Pobbes going to landing somewhere down in the middle line of Francis. Going to try to use the red. He's going to try to take him out. But then again, it's going to be failure, as the warp system is just going to be carrying them up, and those Banshees can't really do anything at all to that warp system because they cannot really shoot up high. As the scan is going to go down again, we're not really sticking this. It's actually a waste of the scan, but maybe he's just checking where the army of Pobbes is. It's going to be like a kind of like a comfort zone when you know your army is, or when you know when your enemy's army is, so that you can just move around freely and just sort of expand where you want to. As we are gonna see another drop right here. 2 Hellions gonna be dropping it, and again, very smart technique right here by Francis. Just gonna try to pull away some of those units, and we do have 2 Phoenixes right here on the field. And finally, these others are gonna be landing again. Let's see how much damage they can do. Blue Flame Hunters are so good against probes, taking out a ton of probes again, and Pobbes doesn't even know how it is happening. Wow, another probe and another probe. Oh, how many probes does he kill? Well, 7 for those, 7 for that one. And I'm assuming that there was also 7 probes for the other Hellions. So wow, again, Pobbes is not doing the smartest idea, or not really sensing that he is losing probes. It's actually pretty much a scary thing. I think he was being harassed by some of those Banshees that he didn't even had a chance to react to the harassment at the back door of his base. Look at the income tab again. So wow, harvester count. Pobbes is way behind again. So this is actually a good job by Francis. Now Francis is in a 13th harvester lead. So I'm not sure what Pobbes can do about it. But looking at that, Pobbes is only not even ahead by that much. Actually, he's behind in the gas count. They only have 1 gas right there. Big mine, and one of those Phoenix is gonna go down. 2 Phoenix did go down to that missile turret, so that's not a good push right there for Pobbes. Wasting 2 Phoenixes, wasting 2 scouting units, or probable scouting units. But then again, I think he just missed microed, as we are seeing 3 more barracks right here being milled by Francis. So he's just transitioning to a very heavy mass marauder marine ball, which is always good, very good against this army composition of Pobbes. But then again, there is some sentries on the field, so those army or the marine marauder ball can't really kite against that army. If there are some sentries or good force fields placed down by Pobbes, it's up to him to do some good force fielding. But there is a ton of Banshees on the field. How many Banshees do we have right now? We have 9 Banshees on the field, ladies and gentlemen. This is gonna do a ton of damage, and we are just seeing Phoenixes on the field already. So this is gonna greatly decrease the harassment from those Banshees. He's just gonna slowly kill them off.